Yo, what's good, everybody? It's your boy GMike Press, aka GMike, and y'all already know what it is, baby. Back with another episode of the G Perspective. You guys can follow me on all my socials at GMike Perez, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube at GMike Media _. The audio podcast version of the podcast is available on all podcast platforms and YouTube as well. This week, bringing on two old guests, Logan Peter and Nick Wilkins, to talk about the NFL draft results and how the Philadelphia Eagles went crazy in the draft, which is Logan's team. You know, I'm the boys fan, so it's hard for me to say, but it is what it is. And then we go with the first round of the NBA playoffs and their results, and the start of the second round of the NBA playoffs. Be a great episode for you guys. Very intuitive, very enticing, interesting, exciting for sure. Please like, subscribe, and leave your comments. Talk your smack, and let's get it. My boys Nick and Logan, how y'all doing, man?
Fantastic.
Can't complain.
Yeah, doing fine this morning. Looking good. I see you guys putting in work on your socials and everything. Come on, man. Clap it up for that, man. Come on, man. Getting that money, dog.
Hell yeah.
They trying, man. Gotta get the
Hell
money.
yeah.
Yeah, bro.
It's the goal.
Exciting times for us and exciting times for the NBA playoffs because we're now into the second round. But yesterday we had a game 7 between the Golden State Warriors and the Sacramento Kings, and Steph Curry dropping a 50 bomb on these Sac players, man. Woo! Hey. Were y'all surprised that Curry actually dropped a 50 in a game 7 in a let me say in a close matchup that it was throughout the whole series? Because I think each game was like by 5 or 6 points. I don't even think there was 2 games that came down to the last shot. So like the other games were like 5 or 6 points. I think this was the only game that was actually a blowout at the end.
Go ahead, Nick.
I think it would. Oh, you want me to go first? All right, I got you. I wouldn't say I'm surprised just because in game 6, Steph was giving the ball up a lot, and it was the right reads to Andrew Wiggins or Jordan Poole, and they kind of just weren't hitting. Like they were good. They had good shots. They just weren't hitting. I think Steph made it apparent that it was going to be his game right from the top. You saw the shot selection. He was taking tough shots that he wasn't taking earlier in the series. So it was kind of like, I think he wants to take this game over. And he did. He did. He was making some crazy layups and just step back threes. I don't know how you guard that. It was insanity. I don't know what you could have done, because he was attacking it every way. They were double, triple teaming him. He was still getting buckets.
Yeah.
Even without Clay wasn't shooting too well. I don't know the exact numbers of the field goals and everything, but snap.
Well, Clay only had 7 points in the first half, and then right out the gate, second half, 4 for 4, 8 points. And then I think he ended with like 14 points, I think, in the second half.
I'll tell you what, he was 4 for 19 from the field, 2 for 10 from 3. Klay Thompson was terrible yesterday. Terrible.
Well, and overall, the whole game, yes.
Yes. And I think Steph Curry knew in a way that I think he knew early too that it was gonna have to be his game. He went 7 for 18 from 3. Like the man was pulling up from everywhere. He was just like, yeah, I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
This is my game. And unsung hero in that game for sure, Kevon Looney. I mean, that man was
the whole series.
The series.
Real. But yesterday in particular, he was a man possessed. 21 rebounds, 10 offensive, 11 defensive. Are we sure Sabonis was down there attempting to try and box him out? I'm not sure, because it looked the entire game like Sabonis got hot early, had a lot of points I think he had 16 in the first half, but he got particularly hot on a stretch run that the Kings had. But besides that, that man was downright bullied all game long. The Warriors were 11-30 on the road this year, right? Like they were not a good road team at all. And you walk into a hostile environment like Sacramento. It's the first time they've had the playoffs in what? I don't even know what was it, 19 years or something like that?
17.
I thought it was 2004.
I
thought it was 2004.
I thought it was
The last
20
time they went.
seasons, bro. But then I read last night that it was 17 years. So,
Oh, okay. So it's, I mean, regardless, it's been a
2006.
long, it's been a
Either way,
long,
yeah, it's been a
long
minute.
time.
when Mike
Yeah.
Bibby, Chris Webber.
Yes, like it's
It's
been a
been a
long
minute.
time.
Yeah.
And
Did you see
you
the
know,
way they were guarding Sabonis though?
yes, shoot it, please.
They were,
Yeah,
yeah.
Shoot
They
it.
were
I
giving him
dare
the
you.
midi.
They
Like, I dare
gave
you.
him middies, bro.
Yeah.
They gave him middies. Once he
Anytime
missed,
you
I was
come
like,
in the paint, yeah, anytime you come in the paint, all right, we'll put a hand in your face. But besides that, go ahead, dude, shoot.
Mhm.
Because if you beat us, we deserve to lose.
Yeah,
That's what
facts,
the
facts.
Warriors
exactly,
mindset was.
exactly.
It's crazy. Curry had 50, like a 50 burger. I'm not shocked. And you think about a team like the Kings. I saw a clip on, I think it was ESPN or SportsCenter on Instagram earlier today or last night that summed it up perfectly. Steph Curry looked at the entire crowd and was like, "You're not ready for this shit." Because they're not.
Yeah,
They're not ready
of
for this
course,
shit,
bro. The
man. They're not
experience,
ready
man.
for it. You walk into it like the Warriors are a dynasty. You think they're gonna sit down and tuck their tails after? Listen, I tell you what. You guys saw that story that Steph Curry had some things to say after they lost Game 6, and he's not a very vocal person. I don't think he's ever really been
Mm-mm.
that type of guy to come out and talk all that talk. Like it's usually Draymond or someone else
Yeah,
on that
yeah.
team. So when this guy who is a first ballot Hall of Famer, arguably the greatest shooter of all time, steps up and says some shit like that, you damn well better listen. Like I know Jordan Poole's been going through a bunch of stuff with Draymond and those altercations. You don't know how far his head's into the games and stuff like that. So when you get the GOAT coming to you, your entire team, and like, yo, like I'm gonna put us on my back tomorrow. And then once we walk into LA, games 3 and 4, like you best be ready because it's go time
Mhm.
now. And I think the entire roster knows that now. And Curry just put the whole world on notice that don't count me out. Don't count me out.
Don't do that. Don't
Never,
do that.
never count him out, bro. No,
That's
and I
gotta
love.
be so much momentum too, going into that.
Oh yeah.
The
Oh,
next
yeah,
series.
yeah.
So much momentum. If
Yeah,
you're not ready to play now, I don't know
That-
what will get you to ready.
Yeah.
That should be getting you ready for war.
Your boy
That
just dropped a
series is
50
gonna be
burger.
electric.
You better match it.
That series is
Game
going to be
7,
electric. This is arguably
that dude
the
was
most important time that Steph and Bron have played each other outside of those finals games. So,
healthy
especially
teams.
yes, this is by far the most important time they faced off in the West. So, oh man, it's going to be fun because one of those teams gets one of two GOATs, Bron and Steph, are going back to the Western Conference Finals. Who is it? I don't know.
Yeah, man. No, I
It's
love
gonna
the
be
way
wild.
that Steph Curry came out in the second half, though, because in the first half he was doing good, but it looked like he was going more through the motions, trying to get his teammates involved, like
Oh
Clay, but he
yes.
wasn't shooting as well. Andrew Wiggins at the end of the
Mhm.
It was like
at the
game
end of the
6.
second quarter, he had like 6 minutes left to go. He had like 8 shots, and he only made like 2 of them. So Andrew Wiggins was off. Like you said, Kayvon Looney, he was a freaking mastermind out there on the floor grabbing rebounds. But then the second half came, and you could tell that Curry just told himself, he's like, yo, if these guys are not going to be on, I'm going to have to take this game over. Bro, he ended with 20 made field goals, 38 field goal attempts, 7 for 18 on three-pointers. This guy shot 52% from the field, 39% from three. Bro, he just took over the game, like how you were saying. And I love the fact that he did that, man, because Game 7, going on the road against an unexperienced team in Sacramento, like you said, 17 years and not being in the playoffs, they don't know what it really is. And then you got De'Aaron Fox, which he was playing with a messed up hand for the last 2 games. So really, he's going to have to be more attentive on defense than he is on offense. And like he said, covering Steph Curry, man, yo, you can literally die out there trying to cover Steph Curry because you're going to be running around the whole game not catching a breath. And if
You can't
Steph
do
Curry,
it too. You can't do it too on top of like the screens and stuff that he gets and runs around and he's just like it's borderline impossible. Like he's gonna find an open look regardless of what you try to do. So I don't know what the Lakers are gonna do in terms of guarding him because it's gonna be a tough sledding for Reeves and all these guys here. You haven't seen nothing like Steph. You haven't seen nothing like Clay when he's hot. Like I think
Not
a lot of
playoff
people are. I think a lot of people are waiting for Clay to have like one of those games to where he's like, yeah, like this guy's still a splash, bro. Like he didn't have one of those games. I feel like where he just completely like he could take over a game just as easily as Steph Curry can. And I think a lot of people forget that.
but can he now? But
I
can
think he
he
can.
now? Like
I
with
absolutely
all the
think he can.
injuries that he's had,
not like Curry, but he can take over
it's
a
a
game.
different way. Like
It's a
he's not gonna
different
dribble
type,
around.
yeah.
He's not gonna dribble around and
yeah,
shit
like
like
more
that.
spot
Like
up
I
shots
agree.
and stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. He's
But
got to if he gets
once
hot.
he gets going though, he'll pull it in
That's what
your
I'm saying.
face,
Yeah,
like in
and then
your face, and
and
just hit.
the Kings are a perfect team to tell you. He'll pop 30 in a quarter and just be like, well, I just got hot. Like
this guy.
and listen, all of a sudden you'll see Steph like he had what 6 assists, I believe. I think he had 6 assists, 8 rebounds yesterday, which is demonic, by the way. After adding 50 points, I mean like
50 points, yeah, hell
that's
yeah.
unreal.
Crazy,
And he
bro.
probably could have had way more assists. Like Nick was mentioning the amount of shots that they were missing. Like
No, and
off
he
his
could
badges.
he could have dropped 60, 65 points if in the
Yeah,
first half he played with the mentality that he did in the second half. But in the
yeah.
like I
I
said,
agree.
like I think in the first half he was just trying to get his teammates involved.
Yeah, and I think once he realized they were all missing again, he was not gonna
Yeah,
make
he
it.
was like,
He
nah.
was not gonna make it
He
like
didn't.
Game 6 again. He was this is my shit.
Nah,
Like
he didn't take
Literally.
long to switch that up. I can tell you
he,
that. He
he took
started
more.
just taking more and more and more
Yes,
shots.
he
It
took
was
more threes than
crazy.
anybody else on his team took a shot. All
Yep.
right, sorry. Clay took 19. Clay took 19 shots, and Steph took 18 threes. Like that guy was like, yeah, no. Everybody else can step
He
I'm
aside.
said
taking
Man. This
over
is
this
my
game.
time
forget
now.
Forget
Yeah,
that.
hits.
yeah. We are playing LeBron. I was like, we ain't stopping here. We
The
ain't
only
He said,
stopping.
no,
the only thing that I
definitely
would
not a
say
first round exit. Nah.
Yeah, no.
the only thing that would say that will be more tough for the Warriors in this round upcoming round is that I believe the Lakers have a better defense than Sacramento Kings do when it comes
Oh,
to switching
absolutely.
off screens and everything. So Curry getting as much points, obviously you're not gonna stop Steph Curry, bro. No one's gonna stop Steph Curry. It's just like no one can stop Kevin Durant. No one can stop Joel Embiid. Like there's just these guys that you just can't stop. But if you're out there switching off of screens, playing these tight defensive play on Steph Curry, he's gonna have to pass it out. You give him some double teams, he's gonna have to pass it out. So you got to make sure that when he passes it out to Clay, Wiggins, Jordan Poole, etc., you get up on these players' faces as fast as you can to make sure that the shots that they're taking are very contested. And if they go in, yo, you know what? It is what it is. Next play. If they don't go in, yo, great defense. I just
And
don't think it's going to be the same type of defensive play that the Sacramento Kings had on them.
yeah, and it's funny because I think that's what intrigues me the most about like Clay and Jordan Poole and Wiggins and like all these guys that are around Steph because I do think he's going to get plenty of double teams and things of that nature. But that means somebody should be getting an open look if Curry can find a pass out of these double teams that he's going to be running into. Somebody should get an open look, regardless of who it is. I don't know. It might be an extra pass too. It might not be directly from Steph, but somebody eventually in that play. If Steph's getting double team and he dishes it out, somebody should be open. So it's going to be a matter of the fact that if one of those guys can get hot and continuously start making shots, they're going to have to start guarding, like face guarding, like you mentioned, him too. So it's going to be tough to then double team Steph. Like it's all going to hinge, I feel like, on exactly what you said. How quick LA can close out on shooters and how much they can control Steph. Like you said, you can't stop him. So it's kind of like you either can contain him the best of your ability and then hope that his dishes are not as good as his shooting, which is impossible to do. Like you can't. He's not. But I don't know. I just feel like that. I mean, that series to me is very unpredictable. Like it's another Anthony Davis is another wild card in that series too. I feel like if AD all of
Always.
a sudden, if Kevon Looney decides to out rebound and out muscle him all series too, it's going to be difficult for me to see the Lakers moving on. Like I don't know. It's it's unpredictable, but I cannot wait to watch that series, man.
Yeah,
Like that, I will be
facts,
tuned to
facts.
every game, and I feel like everybody will because like that's what you want, man. Playoffs, Showtime, goat versus goat.
Hmm.
Like that's what, and it's the Western Conference semis. Like that
Hmm.
could like
Jeez.
you saw how many times they met in the finals. Like it's that type of rivalry now. So there's just those two too. It's funny. Like the Warriors, I guess, are there, and the Lakers are there, but like, come on, yo, that's LeBron versus Steph. Like,
It's
Yeah, yeah.
LeBron versus
Facts,
Steph.
facts, facts.
You
That's what
didn't
you
miss
want to
with
no,
see.
that
That's the
one.
headline
You
right
didn't
there.
miss with
come
that
on
one.
now,
Yeah.
come on now.
Before we move on,
I
Nick. Oh, if you got something to say, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say I don't know if it'll be as easy for Steph to get to the rim though in this series, which could be a difference maker. Just because AD down there, he's been killing it on the blocks and defense as of lately. First round, he's been kind of killing it. Not gonna lie, and I feel like how they're gonna affect Steph is staying with him past the double teams because he'll pass out of a double team and then run around until he's not double teamed, gets the ball back, and it's about
Facts.
staying with him when he gets the ball back. I think that's going to be the biggest difference maker in slowing him down.
And with
Absolutely.
that being said, who are you taking? Warriors or Lakers?
I got Warriors in 7.
In 7? Okay. Logan?
I like LeBron in 6, bro. I like LeBron in 6.
I like
I'm taking the
LeBron in
Lakers
6
LeBron
too,
in
man.
6.
Not gonna lie, bro. I just feel like that defense is gonna be too much for them. It's not gonna be too much for
It's gonna
Curry.
be.
And some games it's not gonna be too much for Clay, but I feel like overall in the series it's gonna be too much for Clay. Jordan Poole, I don't. To me, bro, it doesn't even seem like his mind is in the right place out there. I feel like every time he's getting on the court, he's looking for a flop. He's looking for a call to be made on his play, on his layup attempts, on his shot attempts. I feel like his mind is not really there. And Draymond, I feel like Draymond's always there, and he's always gonna be a dog on defense for sure. But they need him to step up on offense, man. And we've been saying this for years and years and years. But they need him to step up on offense because it can't be Curry out there just doing all the workload, man. He's gonna get tired by like game 3, game 4. It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough.
I agree. Plus, I'm just kind of rooting for. I just want to see Braun back in the finals one last time because I do think he's starting to slow down a bit, and
Oh yeah.
the West is starting to like the pace is starting to pick up pretty quick. Like I can see Memphis coming
Not
back
lying.
very strong next year. Like I can see Sacramento coming back strong next year. Like so, I don't know. I think this could be one of those last type deals for. I mean, obviously he's going to keep playing and things of that nature, but I don't see his teams being as relevant as they've always been in a couple years down the line. So I don't
I
know.
said that
I'm
during
rooting
the
for
bubble, so I don't know. I was like, man, he looks a little slow out there. The defense isn't really there. Even though they won a finals, this is it, right?
Negative.
No.
So
yeah, that's true. I mean,
I've
Lego.
given up. I've
Yeah.
given up on
Lego.
counting him out. I've
Yeah.
given up on
Nah, yeah,
counting.
you
When
can't.
he's
You
done
can't,
is
man.
when he's done. I
True.
can't.
It's
I'm
like
done. I
Tom,
quit.
bro. It's like Tom.
Yeah,
Can
exactly.
never count that
Exactly.
man
Same
out.
thing.
So he was gone.
Ever. So on Saturday, the Denver Nuggets took a 1-0 series lead over the Phoenix Suns. It was looking kind of rough out there for the Suns. I'm not gonna lie, but I'd like to put the bright shine on the Denver's defense, bro. The way that they were switching off screens, coming up, like how I was saying, what the Lakers need to do with the Warriors. That's exactly how they were playing the Suns. Like, yo, their defense was freaking impeccable. I think Kevin Durant had like 10 turnovers that game as well. What you guys think about that game 1? Go ahead, Logan. I'll start off with you.
So I didn't get to watch it, but I did see a good amount of the highlights and things of that nature. And to me, the first thing that stuck out to me was Jamal Murray. The way that he just manipulated the floor, really. I mean, that was one thing. He looked better than CP did at the point position, which often doesn't happen. So, and I've actually been worried about Chris Paul, the way that he's been playing recently. I mean, he didn't look great in the Clippers series at all. And on top of that, like the Warriors and Suns to me have a lot of similarities, but to a lesser scale. I think KD and Book both can consistently take over a game, but at the same time, I don't think both of them are going to take over a game at the same time. So it's one or the other, I think, personally. So to me, neither of them decided to take over. I think it was kind of one or the other, and neither of them decided to really step up crazy. I mean, KD had 29. He shot the ball particularly well, so I didn't quite understand why he didn't continue to shoot. He went 12 of 19, I believe. So why are you not continuously trying to get the ball? Because you're hot and you are the so-called best scorer of our generation. I think he tends to forget that sometimes because he sees Devin Booker constantly being the man right now. Because I think this is the first time in a long time that it's not KD's team. Like the last time this happened was when he was with Golden State. So it's something you got to get used to, I feel like. And I don't know, maybe Devin hasn't quite gotten used to it yet. But also, I feel like their role players have to step up massively. Like
Yeah, that's the problem.
Phoenix bench to me is very scarce. So
Yeah,
when they don't
no.
really
The
do
worst
much,
bench in the playoffs, I think, right
yeah,
now.
yeah. So when they don't
100%.
do much, it's tough. Like even Torrey Craig is another guy you need to step up at times, and he hasn't really been doing much. So I don't know. It's tough for me to see them beating Denver only because I feel like the Nuggets have that depth, and on top of that, Jokic is like, it pains me to say it because I mean I love Joe, but like you can't take anything away from what Jokic has done the past couple of years, and I think the last thing that he needs on his resume is a championship. Once you put a championship on that resume, he's cemented, yo. He's one of the best ever. You can't take anything away from him. It was his team. He got drafted there as a second rounder, and he's just constantly been improving and improving and improving, and they just put role players around him. Jamal Murray's a star. But besides that, Michael Porter Jr., he's getting there in my opinion. But
Aaron Gordon.
yeah, Aaron Gordon's another.
Bruce Brown is another dude that's pretty
they're
good
great
off the
role
bench.
players.
Yeah,
They're great
14
role
off the
players.
bench, man.
14 off
Great
the
role
14
bench.
off the bench.
players.
He was
Exactly.
super effective in that game.
I mean, they got
Super
guys.
effective.
They got guys like Landry Shamet, who I feel like if he was on, or not Shamet, sorry, they have guys on the. I was thinking Shamet because of the Suns, but they
Yeah.
have guys that I feel like would be stepping up in front of like 10 through 12 would be around 6 to 8 on Phoenix's bench. So to me,
Oh,
it's
100%.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's tough. It's tough.
I mean, they have Reggie Jackson and Ish Smith with like 3 minutes each on the Nuggets.
Yeah, literally.
And they would get like 15 minutes on the Suns.
Facts.
At least.
Yeah.
I think that
Reggie's getting 15 at least.
At least.
I think we could all agree that the biggest problem for the Phoenix Suns is their depth. Because their starters, you're not going to worry about. I think the only one that I kind of worry about is Chris Paul because he takes a backseat when it comes to scoring because he has Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, and DeAndre Ayton that he's got to feed. But then at the end of the day, you got to realize, yo, I've been in this situation. I've been to the finals. Obviously, you went to the finals with this team, but he's been to the playoffs multiple times. He's a winner at heart. So you got to come out there, be aggressive as well. Like you can't just have Kevin Durant, Devin Booker trying to take over the game by themselves. No, you shot 5 for 11. You had 11 points, but come on, Chris Paul. You know you could put up 20, bro. You could put up 20. Like, come on. I know you're trying to be the point guard out there. I know you're trying to facilitate on the floor, get your boys involved and all that, but you need to come out and score 20 as well to help your team win.
I was gonna say I feel like he needs to. Like it's a need.
No, he
like,
needs to. He needs to.
And that's what
he does.
And that's what I was thinking. And that's what I was thinking about, to be honest, in the Clippers series was I feel like this guy needs to consistently come out and score at least 15 to 20 points. And at the end of that series, like they were kind of leaving him open. Like, go ahead, shoot, Chris. Like you've been bad. And he's not even getting close to that like landmark. He's playing good point guard when he just needs to, do little. It reminds me of Harden, man. Harden does the same type of thing to a lesser scale. Like a lot of the time, I feel like 6 to 8 of James Harden's assists every game are just a pick and roll with Joe. Like, anybody's getting those 6 to 8 assists, bro. Like, sorry. Like, I love James Harden, but anybody's getting those. I could get those. Yep. Give it to that guy. He'll do it. He'll do the work. Like, he does. All right.
He said,
He'll
I
do
could
the
get
work.
those.
I can get those. I'll find them. I can get them.
I'm dead.
We know you're like 7'5", but dude.
I could get those. I'm telling you. Anybody could. I'm telling you.
Nah, I hear what you're saying though.
Like it's like so that's what I feel about. That's kind of how I feel about CP3 though. In a way, it's like he kind of just goes, "Yep, man, give it the book, he'll do it, or give it to KD."
But
like,
exactly.
He's just not. Yeah, he's just not
Or
playing.
he'll run a pick and roll with Ayton. That's it.
Yes, exactly.
He
He's
won't
not
get
playing
himself
up to
open
par with
ever.
the point god. Yes, exactly. He's not playing.
Mhm.
He's playing
either.
Good.
I was gonna say he'll either run the pick and roll or give it up to KD or
yes,
Devin.
exactly.
Yeah, he's not looking
and
to
KD's
score.
been forced off the ball a lot.
Yeah.
He has 7 turnovers, by the way. It wasn't 10, but he has 7 turnovers. I don't think he'll have that many turnovers again. But
nah, but he was getting pressed immediately. As soon as he touched the ball, he was getting pressed. Yeah. So he'd have to hit Devin Booker, and he didn't have an amazing game. He didn't play bad, but he didn't have an amazing game shooting wise. And then if Chris Paul had the ball, he was running pick and roll. Like it was so obvious what they were doing. If you watch the game,
of course.
Whoever had the ball, you knew how they were going to try to score. So if you're the Nuggets, you're like, okay, well, if Chris Paul has the ball, we know what he's gonna do. If Kevin Durant has the ball, we're gonna try to not let him have the ball because no one wants KD with the ball. And then if Devin Booker shoots, he shoots. Like we'll play defense, and when he misses, he misses. That's how they played. And then Jamal Murray lit it up on the other end.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to say about the Denver Nuggets now, because ever since Jokic got there, they've been good teams offensively. But I think this year, like, they're putting the stamp on the paper and just solidifying themselves as a top defensive team. I still think the Celtics have the best defense right now, but
I agree.
Denver is second in line on that. And Lakers are right there at third, but Denver is just second in line for me right now. Like, the way that they've been playing together on defense and the way that the coach has been emphasizing it, because there was an interview at the end of the third quarter, they have with the home coaches asking how their play is going to be in the fourth quarter and all this. And he just emphasized so much on defense, and they were up by like 15. They're up 15. So it's like, you wouldn't really think that he's going to mention, that our defense has to be better and this and that, or whatever. We have to keep sticking to it, and etc. But he emphasizes it so much, so I feel like that's their focal point on this whole season, going from round 1 to round 2, and then hopefully they go to the conference finals and the NBA finals. But that's what their focal point is just defense, 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 because they know they can get it done on offense.
To me, I feel like they've been impressive defensively in the playoffs for sure. I still think Nikola Jokic is terrible defensively, so I'm going to disagree with you strictly on that case. I think if you drive to the rim, you're going to get what you think you're going to get. But a lot of the time, these teams are falling behind to Denver pretty early. And I think you saw this with Minnesota towards the end of this series. If you get to the 10 against them, in my opinion, you're going to have your way, especially when Jokic is on the court. Like, you're everywhere else, I agree with you. They've been arguably one of the best defensive teams in the league, and even throughout the regular season. Like, when Jokic is in there, though, great offensively, arguably the best offensive player all around in the league. Defensively, he's such a liability. That's been my whole argument about, like, the debate between Jokic and Embiid. I think it's clear that Jokic is better offensively in terms of just all-around game, but Embiid does it both sides of the court.
Yeah,
like,
he's a
his
two-way.
Defense. Yeah, he's a defensive prowess, and Jokic just isn't that yet. So
no, I don't think he'll ever be that.
Well,
I don't think he'll ever. He's just
I don't
a
think he'll
tad
ever
too
be that.
slow.
Yeah, so I think if Phoenix does get early, it has to be early. But if they find holes and find lanes to get in and get to the rim, like, I do think they have a chance in this series because they do have the talent to finish at the rim. Obviously, you look at Devin Booker in himself, and it's like, all right, like, he's the man. But I do think that they have the talent to at least make this a series. It all hinges to me on, one, if Chris Paul can play up to his standard, because he needs to, and the bench. Like, if the bench steps up and at least plays semi-decent, and I really do think Phoenix has a chance in this series. But I don't know. The way Denver looked in game 1, it's I don't know. It's going to be tough. It's going to be interesting to see what it looks like games 3 and 4 in Phoenix, especially if Denver's up 2-0, because obviously that'll make or break the series. So,
yeah.
I completely agree. I think they do need to attack the paint. I mean, Ayton was 7 of 11. He just needs to. Chris Paul, like what Logan said again, Chris Paul is going to have to run the offense. He's going to have to do point guard material. He's going to have to be that guy in this series. They're going to have to attack the paint, and they need their bench players to hit open shots, and they're just not.
They need to shoot better on the 3-point as well. Each player that made a 3-pointer, they only made 1 3-pointer. That's crazy.
Really?
That's crazy. Yep. Kevin Durant.
No one made more than 1?
No. Kevin Durant, 1 for 3. Okuije, 0 for 1. Devin Booker, 0 for 1.
1 for
Chris
5.
Paul, 1 for 5. Shamit, 1 for 1. Torrey Craig,
Lee,
1 for 2.
1 for 4, yeah.
1 for 4.
Gosh,
Lee,
dog.
Yeah. So they need to get better on their 3-point shooting as well. They went 7 for 23. I mean, it's not like horrendous, but dude, like you said,
they
need to knock down their shots.
I'll tell you,
when Shamit was on defense, he was getting tore up.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he was.
Yeah.
I'll tell you one guy who I think has been playing the best at the point guard position all playoffs. This will be a transition of a series, though, if
Okay,
you guys are
okay.
okay with that.
I already know who you're gonna say. Go ahead. You can do it. Go ahead. This is the fucking L perspective, baby.
Kyle Lowry's been a dog.
Yeah, he has been.
Kyle
He has
Lowry's
been.
been a dog this postseason, bro. And let me tell you,
I love to see it.
Off the
when Jimmy,
bench too.
yo,
Look,
when Jimmy went down, right? What was that? Like mid fourth?
yeah,
Mid
mid
fourth,
fourth.
he went down.
Yeah, mid fourth. I think there was
Yeah,
5 minutes left.
yeah.
Yeah.
So when Jimmy goes down,
And he still stayed in the game, dog. He's
and
a
he,
dog.
and the worst
Dog.
part about it, he probably shouldn't even have fucking been in there, bro. He was
No,
standing,
No,
100%.
he was
He
standing in
should
the
have.
corner and not even moving. Like
You saw what he was
know.
doing.
But
That
yo,
boy was like this.
Yeah. You know, I'll tell you what too. I was talking to
I love
I was
Jimmy
talking to my
Butler,
dad,
man.
dude. I was talking to my dad about this, and like they showed Spoelstra and the gang talking, discussing after Jimmy like went down and like he shot that one awful three, right? Then after he hurt his ankle, and I saw they showed an
Oh,
angle
yeah,
of like
yeah.
Spoelstra and all them talking. My dad was like, "What do you think they're saying right now?" And I was like, "To be honest, they're probably saying we need to take Jimmy out, but then they're also saying who the fuck's gonna tell Jimmy he's coming out?"
Yeah, literally.
Because he sure
Yeah,
as shit ain't gonna be
literally,
me.
bro.
He sure as shit ain't gonna be me. I ain't telling him. You tell him. And he was like, he probably like, I ain't fucking telling him. He guess sure, I guess he's
Shoulda had
staying
hat.
in there. Yeah, I guess he's staying
Should
in
have had
there.
Haslam
No,
tell
he
him.
did not want to come out the game, bro. He
Yeah,
did
of
not
course
want to
not.
come
I
out.
don't blame him, bro. That's his team. But I will say the one man that completely took over and changed the complexion of the game was Kyle Lowry.
Yep.
Big butt himself, bro. Jack Harlow.
Ain't no way.
You see that thing that
Ain't no
Harlow
way.
was courtside and was like,
He said it's like a pillow.
Lowry fell in my lap. The rumors are true. It's like a pillow.
Oh my god.
I was like,
bro.
yo, what is wrong with this
It was
man, bro?
stupid, bro. Stupid.
But yo, he went crazy, bro.
Jack is
For real,
goofy.
like, yeah,
Yeah, he had
he's
18 off the
goof.
bench. He was 5 for
He's
2.
goof.
But Gabe Vincent went off too, 20
Oh,
points, 6 for
Vincent had a
16.
great game as well.
Bam,
He's
been hooping.
Bam, I need you to step it up still, man. I need you to fucking
He's
step it
just-
up.
Yeah.
Why isn't he more aggressive on the offensive?
I don't know,
He
bro.
can have
I
it
don't
Especially
know.
without-
most of the time.
Especially without Jay Randall in there. I thought for sure that Bam would probably be a
100%.
little bit
Dude.
more aggressive today or in game one. And it worked out for them, to be honest, because Jimmy only had 25. Like it was really a spread out effort. Obviously, Gabe Vincent kind of took it to the next level a little bit with his performance in the first half. I think he had a great first half performance. He added a little bit more in the second, but I'm pretty sure he had like 15 in the first half, and then ended with like 19 or something like that.
He ended up with 20, and he had 5 for 12 3-point.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Well, yeah, the crazy
Shot
thing is, like,
42% from 3.
he had to
Fire.
pull up though. Like he had
Yeah,
to do
he
these
had to,
things.
of
So
course,
it's like
of course.
nobody else was even taking the shots. So I mean, props to him for stepping up and controlling the game. The Knicks perspective, Jalen Brunson struggled and mightily, especially beyond the arc, 0 for 7. That can't happen. If that happens constantly, like you guys are screwed. There's no chance. They need Julius Randle. I thought that was pretty. Yeah, I thought that was pretty adamant. Like they need him, and if he's not back, they are in trouble but I will say, Miami needs Jimmy. Like,
oh, 100%.
Oh,
100%. We don't have Jimmy. We ain't winning another game.
Yeah, they need Jimmy back. So the fact of the matter is, you got to look at his injury too and hope that that's not as serious. That's the thing that kind of sucks about the East compared to the West right now. Is like besides Boston, everybody's banged up. Like it's kind of rough. So, but on the other
hand, honestly, I don't think Jimmy plays game 2.
I don't think he does either, especially up 1-0. I think they should have flown him home yesterday, in my opinion. Get treatment for 3 or 4 days, and then stay in Miami, stay in your crib, be comfortable, all that stuff, and get treatment, and then be hope to God you're ready for 3. And if we're up 0-2, then sit again, or if we're up 2-0, man, sit again. But oh man, that series to me is all going to hinge on injuries, which stinks. But it's I guess it's the way of the land.
It's just
but
NBA basketball.
I also think injuries come, and that's when a new star will come and shine. And Tyler Hero going down already. If Butler's down, you're gonna have to turn to somebody, and we're gonna find out who it is, right? I mean, Gabe Vincent is a good candidate, obviously. I think Duncan Robinson will get more minutes if that's the case. If if Jimmy can't go, Caleb Martin's another guy that you gotta kind of rely on if that's the case. So it's going to be an interesting series, in my opinion, because it's so the NBA, luckily this year, I've always liked the hockey playoffs over the NBA playoffs just because of the unpredictability of it. You kind of always knew, at least the last 10 years in the
Game
NBA,
7 Panthers beat the Boston Bruins, the best team in the NHL. So
Crazy.
sorry,
I'm telling you,
I had to
dude.
throw that in
Crazy.
The Kraken beat the
Yeah, I
Avalanche last
almost
night
did.
in 7-2. Dude, like there's some crazy stuff, and there's like that's common though. Like that stuff happens in hockey every year. Like if you're in the playoffs, it's literally a brand new season. You just have to get in. Like Florida had they were 1 point ahead of Pittsburgh just to get into the playoffs,
Yeah,
and Boston had
that wild
100.
card game. Yeah.
Yes, and had 135 points and was the best team statistically in NHL history.
Yep.
It doesn't matter, bro. It doesn't matter. But that's besides the point. This year, I feel as if the NBA is like that. Like this is the first time in a while where I felt like, wow, like this is pretty unpredictable. Like nobody, especially like who had Miami beating the Bucks? I know you didn't. I remember when
I did
when you guys lost to Atlanta, you were pissed because you were like, even if we win this next playing game, we're just gonna get swept by Milwaukee again.
Yeah, literally.
And look what happened, man. So that's what I'm saying. It's fun. Like these playoffs have been like the most fun in my opinion in a long time because
I agree.
like genuinely nobody knows. Like, and that just makes it exciting.
What you think about this series, Miami against the Knicks? By the way, guys, Miami took game 1, 108 to 101. Game 2 will be tomorrow on Tuesday, May 2nd. What you think, Nick?
I think Logan hit the nail on the head. They're gonna need Randall. And I loved the defense that they played against Jalen Brunson. They created a wall in that paint. He wasn't getting to his turnaround Jays, and they did that on purpose. They weren't gonna play as soft as Cleveland, and the Knicks were riding some type of high that they thought they were the shit and they could score on anybody. And so it was refreshing to see the Heat come into that game well prepared and force Jalen to take the three, and he wasn't hitting. I mean, I think that was the difference in the game. That wall they were putting up they weren't letting him get to his shot, and that made the difference in the game.
Yeah, what I liked about Miami because I think the Knicks had us that first half, bro. I was worried because
100%.
like I
It was
told
the adjustments.
Yeah, like I told Logan, man, Miami they have the third quarter. That's what we call it down here, the third quarter, because our third quarters are out of whack, bro. We don't play the same that we do in the first and second quarter, or even in the fourth. I feel like a fourth is a whole different game than the third quarter. So I was worried when we came out because we were down, I think, like 8 points. No, I think we were down 5. It was 55-50. Down 5 points. We come back, and I'm like, damn. You know, if Brunson starts going off, if RJ Barrett starts going off, because I think at that point, I think RJ Barrett was like 5 for 7 at that point.
He was playing
So
well.
yeah, he was playing well, and he was facilitating. Also, he was trying to play basically Randall's game without Randall being there. So I'm like, okay, you know, we got to see how we come out, whatever. But bro, we came out strong. We came out firing on all cylinders, man, and it was just awesome to watch. Obviously, Jimmy goes down in the middle of the fourth. You're like, damn, we're only up by a few. These guys can come back, whatever. But we started playing great defense. Then you saw Lowry was like, "Yo, I'm gonna take over." He's like, "It's either I'm gonna get you a wide open shot, or if not, I'm taking this shot." And that's what he was doing, and he took over and he did the right thing.
Took over, bro.
Yeah.
Great decision making the entire game. Like it was something.
Good defense. I mean, he was there.
Yeah.
Made his presence felt for sure.
To answer your question, I think it's going to be Heat in 6. That's what I'm going with. I'm going with Miami closes it out at home, or not at home. Sorry, yeah, at home. Yeah, Game 6. I think they close it out at home. Game 6. I think they're going to lose Game 2. They're going to win 2 in Miami. They're going to lose again at the Garden, and then they close it at American. Well, sorry, what is it now? It's not American Airlines Arena. Crypto? No. Bang Bros? No.
Should have been.
Something.
It should have
something, bro.
It's not FTA.
Miami.
A Caser Center, something like that. Caser, because it's like a IT company in Miami.
That's like the 9th name in less than a year, but we'll go with
it. We'll go with
it. That's what I'm rocking with, though. I do think Miami. I just think their defense is a little bit too much for the Knicks, and I think the Knicks are just playing. Well, I think they're both playing with house money at this point because they both should have been eliminated in the first round. But
100%.
I just also feel like the Knicks are, like you said, like the Knicks to me are like, I mean, The Knicks are like the Cowboys, bro. Like you make the playoffs, and like if they make the playoffs, their like they're one of the best fan bases in the league. So is the Cowboys, but they get a little bit too emotional, bro. Like they're a little too hype about things that don't, aren't necessarily that hype. Like you won the
That's
first
what I'm
year,
saying. They were riding that high.
congratulations. Like like
Yeah.
the fact that they like jump into the streets and stuff and mob like crazy lunatics after every win is like kind of wild to me. Like coming from Philly, like that's wild to me.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
like,
A Philly fan saying that, like,
yeah,
wow.
that's what I'm saying. Like that's wild to me. Like
If
I don't
a
know.
Philly fan is telling you to chill, then
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
you
what I'm
need to
saying.
chill. You need to relax. You need to relax.
But Knicks
Yeah,
fans
you
are
need
like
to-
that
you
though.
need to
Like
chill.
they're really like
No,
that. bro.
100%.
Yeah, they are,
Like
they
Knicks
are.
And
fans
they
are
haven't-
really like that. They've always been.
They
like
haven't been
that,
allowed
too.
to be
Like,
ruthless in a while.
seriously though. Like besides Melo, bro, they haven't been good since Ewing. Like
No, this is their first playoff
Yeah.
series win. There's their first playoff
Yeah.
series win since like early 2000s.
yeah, bro. Like
Crazy.
I don't know. To me, it's like I love to see that get humbled all the time. It's like the Cowboys fans. I like to see them get
No,
humbled.
and we've had this rivalry since the 90s.
yeah,
Like
no,
Miami
it's-
against Knicks, that it was like
Mhm.
big time rivalry.
and
So,
Pat Riley's right in the middle of it now. I
Yeah,
love it.
yeah, facts, facts.
I love it.
Smiling.
He came back to the Garden last night and was like, "Yeah, the last time you guys were good was because of me, and then this time you're good, and you ain't gonna be anymore because of me."
That boy was cheesing
man.
the entire time.
He was.
Yeah.
That boy was
That boy looked like the
smiling.
Godfather
Having
for
a good
real,
time.
bro.
He was having a good
Nah,
time.
for real.
He
That
truly
boy
does,
was
man.
having a good time.
He's got a good time at the
He
Mecca,
was.
bro. He always has a good time at the Mecca, bro. He enjoys the Mecca.
Yeah, facts. But the last series to
I got
go over, we got. Oh, if you want to say something, Nick, go ahead. Before we
I was
move on.
gonna say I got Heat in 6 too, especially
Yeah.
if Jimmy plays Heat in 6.
If Jimmy doesn't
Jimmy
play,
plays Heat in
man,
5. If he doesn't, he in 6.
if Jimmy doesn't play, bro, I see us losing next game and game 3, man. Like it's gonna be
Nah, you're
tough
not
for
losing at
us,
home, bro.
dude. It's gonna be tough for us to get a win without Jimmy, man. Like
Nah, bro,
we're gonna
you're
have
not
to
losing,
depend
bro.
on, like you said, Gabe Vincent. Kevin Love is gonna have to come back to Minnesota Timberwolves. Kevin Love, Kyle
All my-
Lowry is gonna have to show out like he was in Toronto.
Bro, all my moms, you're not losing at home to the Knicks. Bro, I promise.
Oh my god.
I promise, bro. You're not losing at home to the Knicks.
This
Like,
guy's a savage.
Dude, that's a
it's like
crazy
that.
thing to say, bro. On camera.
Yeah, bro. I'm that confident, bro. Like
Oh my
Miami,
god.
Miami's not
That's
losing to
wild,
the Knicks at
bro.
home. Yeah, and
Oh my God.
all right. Let me rephrase that. On my mom's, if Jimmy Butler plays, they're not losing
There
at
we
home.
go.
No, that's
Alright,
what I
that's
was
a little bit
saying
more
without
exciting.
Jimmy. I was
If they-
saying without
if-
Jimmy.
all right, yeah.
Yeah.
If they're playing without Jimmy, then I like my mom.
Oh,
So
I
I'm not gonna put it on her.
would hope that you do. I would hope. that
Yeah, I'm
you
not
do.
gonna put it on her. But
He said,
I hope-
I
I
like
hope-
my mom.
I hope y'all
I'm
are. I hope y'all are ready for.
crying, bro.
I hope y'all are ready for numero uno's takeover tonight, bro.
You think James Harden is gonna take over Game 1 tonight?
I think the only way they win tonight is if James Harden takes over.
I think
I think
Tobias Harris is gonna have a great game.
I think the only way they win tonight is if James Harden either has 30 points or a triple double.
Oh, he'll get the triple double. I think
All right, yeah, well, I
I
think
took
that's
him.
the only way.
I took him on
He
player
definitely-
props for more than 15 rebounds and assists because I feel like he's gonna get like 7 rebounds and like 11 assists.
He has to, bro, especially
Yeah.
without Joe. Like, I think another thing that is going to be interesting to watch throughout the games that they don't have Joe is how they attack the big men, how they guard Al, how they guard Williams. Like, there's going to be a lot of interesting because obviously you have to guard Tatum and Brown and like Marcus Smart. I mean, Smart, I guess, whatever. But
No,
Tatum and Brown,
Smart's,
obviously-
Smart's been playing great, bro.
he has been playing great,
Playing
great.
especially on the offensive side, which is scary.
Yeah,
But-
exactly.
Yeah, it's
Um,
not.
I'm just
Not
worried
ideal.
about. I'm worried about Jaylen Brown, to be honest, because
Jaden Brown's
another
that
one-
dog,
should-
man.
You
he's a wild card.
You
Bro.
should be worried.
He's a wild card. You never know. He could be dormant for a game because Jason Tatum decides he had a talk with Kobe or something, and like has to like. He's so corny, bro.
He texted him again.
He's so
put it on
corny,
social media.
bro. Yeah,
no
he's
lie.
so
I think
corny,
he is
bro.
corny.
Oh
man.
my god!
And
he's so
honestly,
corny,
dude,
bro.
honestly,
and I like him, bro. I like the way he plays. Like I like
think-
all that, bro.
I
Just
think
so
Jalen
corny,
Brown's better, bro. I
do
think
too.
Jalen Brown is better. Like, because
I do
his
too.
mentality
been
and his
saying
aggression.
that. I've been saying that. I
The funny-
completely agree.
Yo, the funny thing about
Just-
Jalen Brown is like one of those distant, like the Rockets, for example. I could 100% see like a team like Houston or a team like the Spurs deciding they want to revamp this rebuild, start going a little bit quicker, and just like imagine all. And the Celtics, I think, are going to be all for it because they have to stick with Jason Tatum, in my opinion. They have to. They have to.
The fans are gonna cry.
Yeah, dude, that's their guy. And obviously, I think I think ultimately they'd want to keep them both, and their careers are already tied together, so they would be stupid to leave each other at this point, in my opinion. But I also think if Jaylen Brown took over his own team,
I think he wants to.
Oh, I think he does too. And that's
it seems like he wants to. I don't know if he feels as wanted as he could other places. You know what I mean? Like
I don't know, dude. Boston is such a weird team because defensively they're so tough to get around. And if you don't have if we don't have him beat throughout this series, I think you can just chalk it up. But I do think he's gonna come back for 2. I think he comes back for game 2. I don't think he plays tonight. I think Wednesday's the night. Yeah.
No, it's official. He's not playing tonight.
Oh, he's out?
Yeah,
it's official.
Yeah, he's out.
Yeah. So game 2, I think, is the night where he'll come back. But another guy who is gonna be key tonight, Tyrese Maxey, bro. Let Tyrese Maxey cook, and it could be a very, very different storyline in the morning. Like, he's another guy that I just feel like when he's on, oh my God, he is so he's mesmerizing, bro. He reminds me so much of De'Aaron Fox just because of how quick he is. Like, he's just so agile on the court, and it's tough to stop that, yo. Like, it's tough to stop a guy who is constantly, like, he runs around like Steph, but can drive like Ja. That's tough to stop, bro. Like, obviously, these are 2 degrees. Like, he doesn't do it better than those 2, but he does it.
The similarities.
I saw where you were.
Yeah, he does it like those 2. So he's another guy, dude. Like, it's gonna be he's gonna have Marcus Smart running around with him too, though. So I think it's gonna be tough for him to get open. But one of those 2, it's got to be one of those 2.
Well, I think Jaylen Brown's gonna play him.
So yeah, well, that's great.
Smart will be on.
I know. I'm not saying it's like a upgrade, but you said Smart, and I'm like, no, I think Smart's going to be on Harden.
He said great.
I think I agree with you though, George. In a way, I think Toby is going to have a good game as well. Like, and I like the bench. I really do like the Sixers bench. I like the Sixers bench. They don't have as much depth as other teams, but they also are not scarce. Like, they can drop 8 guys. Yeah, they can drop 8 guys to the bench. Or they could drop 3 or 4 starters and let Harden just run with those guys. I love Paul Reed. Oh my God, I love Paul Reed. And I think, you want another prop that you want to do for tonight? Paul Reed over rebounds. Slam that shit.
Over rebounds?
Slam that shit. Okay. Slam that shit, bro. Slam that shit.
I'm going to look at it.
He's at least getting 10, and I guarantee you it's probably like 8.5. Like, slam that shit.
I think it's probably
dog
7,
down low.
Really. I think it's
7.
He's
a dog down low, bro. He's a dog down, bro. Like, and he's going to get, like, another thing, think about him for a double-double too, because he automatically gets 8 points due to the fact that Harden's going to take his guy, and then do the same thing he does with Embiid, except Paul Reed he doesn't shoot. He goes to the 10. So he won't get not nearly as many more opportunities because it has to be a layup, or that Harden just won't give him the ball. So like if it's a shot, he does not give him the ball, bro. It's actually quite funny. Like, even if he's wide open, he'll just take the double team and just go up. Like, I'm not giving him.
That's not like Harden.
Yeah, exactly. But I don't know, dude. It's gonna be a tough game 1. I do think Boston wins tonight. But if they did decide to win Philly, it would have to be one of those 2 going off, James or Max.
If Maxey gets confident, that's the thing. That's when that flamethrower comes out. When he gets confident, he got that smile on his face.
Yeah.
But you're not wrong, bro.
He could easily drop 30
scary.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Well, you don't want to see him smiling. If you're Boston, you don't want to see him smiling.
Bro.
You don't. When he starts smiling
bro.
is when you're that's the dude that runs off complete confidence. If he's confident in his shot, he'll take anything. And
I agree with you. Because if he's missing too, he stops shooting. He'll stop. Like,
that's what I mean.
Yeah, I don't want to go. I don't want to go 2 for 12. Yeah, I don't want to go 2 for 12. Like, he'd rather go 2 for 6 than 2 for 12 and just let somebody else shoot. Like, I 100% agree with you, man. But if he's going, like that 2 for 6 is turning into 10 for 16, like real quick. Because if he's going, he's going.
No, 100%.
I think it's gonna be I think Boston does take game one tonight, but I think it will stay close because of everything that you guys have said. The only thing that I will mention that the game will get out of hand going in Boston's favor if you guys have 7 or more turnovers in the game. Because if James Harden's out here trying to create, trying to get this triple double and this and that, he's gonna have to throw these thread in the needle passes. And if he doesn't get them off, and you guys are creating a lot of turnovers for yourselves, I think the game's gonna go from like a 5-point game at the end to like a 15-point game deficit at the end. And that's
Definitely
the
could.
number one key that you guys need to like keep in mind throughout the whole game.
No, I 100% agree with you. If they can't limit turnovers, it's a wrap, bro.
Yeah,
It's a wrap.
Because, obviously, you turn the ball over, but Boston's one of those teams where they will destroy you on the transition. Like,
Yep.
whoop.
Oh yeah, they're scoring in
two.
transition.
Yeah, quick two. Like every turnover is basically 2 points the other way at least. So it's like you best be not turning the ball over. Like I agree with you 100%. That's going to be 1,000. I mean, it's going to be basically the most important thing tonight for sure without Joe. But even with Embiid, it's like he doesn't turn the ball over a lot, but sometimes he gets force fed, and that's where issues start to arise, because then you're trying to constantly give him the ball because he probably needs the ball almost every possession, but they start to pick up on that shit. And Boston knows him so well now. Like, that's another thing, guys. I think this series at least has to go at least 6 or 7, just be strictly on the fact that they know each other's every move, bro. Like, Doc Rivers has now coached against the Celtics after, obviously being way different teams, but
yeah,
you coach for a franchise, and now you've coached against them for 5 years now. And
faced them in the playoffs 3 years.
Yeah, like you
think this is the 4th.
Yes, you constantly are knowing that, okay, we have a feel at least of what they're going to do. And obviously Boston's the same way. They have a feel of what the Sixers are going to do throughout the series. Personally, I think the Sixers win the series in 7 if Embiid plays. If Embiid plays after game 1, I really do think that he is tired of fucking losing. I'll put it bleak. I think he's tired of losing. So
he
has the team. Their team is capable. And
he's about to leave and come to Miami.
If he's healthy, bro, I'm telling you, if he's healthy. Yeah. They have a basketball team.
I know.
No, Detroit. He'll get a crazy bag in Detroit.
Wembanyama.
He's getting a crazy bag anywhere.
We getting victim.
Yeah, no. I think he'll be the owner of the team playing on the court for Detroit.
They'll relocate.
No, it's crazy. You can't relocate, dude. You gotta change everything.
Sixers in 7 if Embiid plays. If Embiid is a shell of himself throughout the series, I think the Celtics win in 5.
It's tough, man. It's tough. It's arguably.
I agree with that.
Yeah, arguably
100%.
he's MVP for me right now, man. I feel like we can all agree to that.
He's my I don't think it's an argument, to be honest.
He's gonna have an MVP ceremony before Game 3 on Friday. You best believe that. That's a guarantee. Yeah. Charles Barkley guarantee. That's happened.
Charles Barkley.
I don't know if that's a good guarantee.
Yeah, right.
It's a pretty mid guarantee.
Oh man, yeah. With Joel Embiid playing, I could see it going Game 7 for sure. With him not playing, man, damn. Tough. Unless James Harden comes back and plays like Houston Rockets James Harden, and Tobias Harris.
Then they got a shot.
Tobias Harris took some freaking Space Jam molecules off of Joel Embiid, and he starts to play like him.
Space Jam molecules, bro.
Dude, it's gonna be tough.
He need that secret stuff.
Yeah, bro.
Or an Adderall.
And I like Tobias Harris, man. I like the way he plays. I just feel like he needs to be more the guy with the ball. Like, okay, let me get the ball. This is what we're gonna do. Boom, 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 boom. Like how Joel Embiid does and James Harden. But I feel like he doesn't do that, obviously, because he's the third option on the team.
Yeah, well, it's funny because the fucked up thing is like he does do it, and when he does it at times, like he does it at times. Like you're right, he doesn't do it as often as he should, and he doesn't do it as often as a max player should. But like Game 4 against the Nets, like that was a Toby game, like which is again.
Yeah.
you need one of those games where he dropped. Like, I think he dropped like 22 and 11. Like you need some shit like that tonight, or like you best believe like this. He needs to drop 20 tonight. Like I agree. Like Tobias Harris needs to, in fact, have at least 20 points and at least
At
8
least.
rebounds because he needs to be a menace on the boards. Another guy who I think is a wild card in this series before we get to the NFL draft, PJ Tucker. That man
Facts.
is going to be a difference maker because he
Facts.
always is, dude. Like that
Always.
guy is constant. He doesn't score a lot. He really doesn't. And I think that was as advertised on, coming in, but he does everything else so well. Like he automatically made the Sixers defense like 5 to 10 spots better than they were last year, strictly on the fact that he's just constantly in your face, yo. He's constantly just menacing and just he's 37. Like he plays like an old man would at LA, bro. Like just constantly in your face, hard nose, like smash mouth. This is basketball, son. Like, well, welcome
guarding
to the league.
Always
son.
guarding the toughest player.
You need a veteran presence like that, man.
He's gonna be face guarding Brown or Tatum tonight, which is crazy.
Tatum, I see him on Tatum the entire game.
Yeah, and I think he will. Like obviously these off ball screens and all that stuff's gonna happen, but I think he's gonna do it quite well because he just does. That's when Jaylen Brown comes in. So it's an art.
That's why I think Jalen's gonna hoop, bro. He's gonna hoop tonight because JT is not gonna get the shots that he wants with PJ on him. I completely agree with you. I just don't know who's gonna slow Jalen down.
Yeah, no, it's gonna be tough tonight, bro.
No one can slow Jalen down, really.
No. I mean,
on the
especially
Sixers,
if JT can't get stuff. Yeah. If JT's not going, then they're just gonna give it to Brown, and I don't
unless PJ Tucker starts to cover Brown, then maybe he'll slow him down a little.
What, and like who's on JT? Like, you know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying. But if Jaylen Brown's
one or the other.
If Jaylen Brown's going off, you're gonna have to put PJ Tucker on him. I don't think that you can go throughout the game. You're like, okay, if he's going off, you know what? We're gonna keep Tucker on JT because he could go off as well. No, whoever's going off at that moment needs the best defender on him, in my opinion.
It's true. And just have JT kind of, if he was cold with PJ on him, hope that keeps going because he hasn't seen the ball go through the hoop.
Yep.
But I agree with that. But it's gonna be tough for PJ, man.
Yeah, facts.
He's gonna have 2 different defensive game plans.
That boy is gonna be running around a lot today.
Oh yeah,
running around.
He's ready for his cardio.
Sorry, I was about to say he's ready for it. He's ready.
Oh, he definitely does. This is his favorite.
My boy was doing.
Yeah, I was about to say
this is his favorite time of the year.
He probably spent the last 3 or 4 days running up and down the Rocky Steps, bro.
100% with a cross country team.
Feeling good.
With a cross country team. That boy was with us.
Good. He was up and down the Art Museum steps in Philly every day, preparing for this moment.
Acting like Rocky at the
end. No, he doesn't. He don't celebrate until the end, bro. Job's not finished. No. Once we're at the mountaintop, that's when he comes up.
All right, let's get to this last part because I know all of us are busy today and we got. That's how Howie
was feeling after this weekend.
That's how you were feeling after this weekend, and this is how I was feeling. This is me.
That's how all Philly was feeling.
I hate you.
Just let me clear. Let me state this before we get into it. It's the worst thing to say, but the Philadelphia Eagles have had the best draft in 2 years. Look at this guy. Have had the best draft 2 years in a row, Campbell? Bro. The Eagles have had the best draft 2 years in a row, man. That is crazy to say. And they just came off of a Super Bowl appearance, and their team got better. Logan, how the fuck does this happen?
Dude, bro, think about it. You said they've had the best draft the last 2 years. And 3 years ago, they traded ahead of their division rival to take the Heisman-winning wide receiver, otherwise known as Devontae Smith. And he's worked out all right too. So
the first year he was
look,
but yeah.
But he was double teamed though. He was double teamed.
Yeah,
immediately.
When you're for sure number 1 and got Quez Watkins matching up beside you, it's quite tough to like. AJ came and you.
And Aguilar was still there, right?
Aguilar was still there.
Yeah. I don't like Aguilar, but
Aguilar. I thought he was supposed to be like your
Greg
superstar.
Ward, like he was lining up. Yo, I'll tell you what.
Remember
Yo,
when
he
that
had-
dude caught the baby out
yo,
the window?
Yeah. Oh God, that was funny. That was funny. Yeah, I'll tell you what. Nelly Aguilar showed up for one game for the Birds, and it was in the Super Bowl, so I can't complain.
That's
Props to
facts.
Nelly.
That's facts.
Props to Nelly.
That's
Like
facts.
I'll
He
never
showed
say
up that
anything
game.
bad about that because he popped almost 100 yards in the Super Bowl. Like I'll take that. But besides that, I don't.
You talking about when you guys played the Pats?
Yeah.
Okay, I
Yeah,
was like,
he went.
last
Yeah,
year.
no,
What?
not
Yeah,
no.
yeah.
Oh
He
no,
wasn't there.
no.
He wasn't
Okay.
there. I don't talk about last year either, bro. Come on.
You're a New Year guy. You're a New Year guy. New Year,
He
new
said,
me.
What happened?
I'm a draft
last
guy,
year?
bro. I'm a draft.
What happened last year?
Oh my god.
Last year,
There's-
y'all
there's
got
two-
the when we.
There's 2 Kelseys in the league. Yeah.
You got one of them.
Here, Goop.
Nah,
Oh
there's
my
only
gosh!
one,
He
bro.
said there's 2. I think there's only Jason.
Yo, this is yeah, another one. Nah, but I'll tell you what. I wish Freezy was in here right now, strictly to talk about this. Because yo,
I wish he was.
Man,
too,
get
bro.
the hell
dogs-
out of here,
the
man.
dogs-
Yo, Freezy, if you watching, man, yo,
dogs-
fuck the Birds, man.
the dogs are about to be unleashed.
Philadelphia
The
son.
Philadelphia
Bulldogs.
Bulldogs.
Dogs
I
are
mean
gonna be
Eagles.
Really?
unleashed. They're gonna be unleashed, and I'll tell you what. I really enjoy.
Sickening.
I thought that there were 3 teams that passed up on Jalen Carter that I thought for sure, like all right, ready? Listen, we'll start. Listen, I don't know. It's funny because I'm not even thinking about them. Like I'm thinking
You broke it?
Seattle for a
No.
fact. I thought
Threw it.
for a fact Seattle was coming for him. Like I thought for a fact that if he dropped to Seattle, that Seattle, if they
But they-
didn't trade
they-
out, scooped them. I thought for sure
Who
they
they
were gonna
grab?
get
Who
Jalen
they
Carter.
grab? They
They,
grabbed the
they
Birds.
grabbed
Witherspoon.
Witherspoon.
That's
Yeah,
not a
they
bad
grabbed
pick.
Witherspoon.
It's not a
not a
bad
bad
pick,
pick.
though.
Yeah.
Listen, I don't think it's
But
a bad pick at all. And
Carter,
they like but they like the Legion of Boom. Like they like building
Yeah,
from
yeah,
the back
course.
in. The Eagles are
Mhm.
the complete
Mhm.
opposite, bro. They build in the trenches up. Like they don't care. We don't. For example, like they drafted Sidney Brown in the 3rd round as a safety. I guarantee you that man starts next year. Guarantee it. Even if he's bad in training camp, he could be terrible in the preseason. They got nobody else, bro. They don't care
They
about the
don't.
position. Like he will be there. Like I guarantee it. Like
You got Ringo, so I mean,
Ringo, I like too. Another dog, but
that's your 3rd string corner now. Like,
because we got
Four?
Avonte Maddox still, slot guy
That's
Avonte
true.
Maddox. So
that's
yeah,
true.
Ringo would be the 4th or a safety. I wouldn't be
That's
shocked if he played
crazy.
safety too.
Bro, he
And they got
actually
Eli
could be a
Ricks.
good safety.
Yo, Eli Ricks going
He
into
could be
this
a
year
good
before he got hurt at Bama, the undrafted cornerback that the Eagles signed. If you go back and look at the way, you know how like every year they'll do like a way too early NFL mock draft,
Mhm.
right?
Uh-huh.
This guy Ricks was a top 20 pick, bro. Like he was a top 20 pick.
He was.
Supposed to be. Got
That's
hurt
true.
at Bama. Only played like 6 to 8 games. Oh my god, sure, I'll take him. Yeah, he didn't get drafted. Oh, I'm not sure. Like that's how Howie cares about the secondary. Let's go back to down low. People were saying that he's like, all right, if Carter's not there, let's settle for Nolan Smith at 10.
They got both. I was
Got
sick,
both.
bro. Those are the 2 people I wanted. Those are the
And
2
you know-
players I wanted.
But you
bro.
know, like
I
you know
was
what's
sick.
crazy about both of them, right? Is like I talked to George about this last week. I was like, you better hope that the Birds don't end up with Bijan or Derrick Henry, because that could be trouble. Like that could be trouble for
And it was
everybody.
neither, but you still got someone else.
I
Damn
told
it,
him,
man.
I was like, that would be trouble for somebody. I didn't expect your boys down there, Nick. This is when you come into play. I didn't expect your boys to go and
Trey,
as
my
much
favorite
as
player.
much as I love Gibbs, I do like Gibbs a lot.
I like Gibbs a lot, but
I still don't think he's the starter, and you traded your starter last year to us, and I still don't think he's the starter, bro. Demont's there. Like Demont signed. Everybody forgets that.
Well-
Like David Montgomery was a good player last year, bro, for your division rival. Like this guy was running constantly, and you saw it every week, and you were like, "Yeah, I want that on my team, so let's get it." But then listen. Hold on. Let me finish about the Eagles. Then I'll let you do what you want to do, because I know you got some things to say too, Nick. But I really
go ahead.
Listen. Jalen Carter dropped. I thought he was the best player in the draft. I thought the Eagles had no chance. I thought they
Agreed.
had no chance of getting him.
I
And
agree.
I think if all that stuff the night of the national championship, if that doesn't happen, I think you're sitting here talking about how Will Anderson became a Lion or a Seahawk because the Texans moved up and got Carter with Stroud. Like, I really do think he was the best player in the draft. And obviously quarterback is the most needy position in the draft, so people are going to take quarterbacks over him sometimes. But dude, the fact that he fell down there and the fact that it's literally the best fit for the man. I mean, he's now with all his old boys. He thought of Nakobe Dean and Jordan Davis as like mentors throughout the time they spent at Georgia. Dogs. They absolutely like they loved each other, bro.
Philadelphia Bulldogs. God
Bro,
damn it.
they loved each other, bro. Like he genuinely was a mentor for Carter. And what better way to be a mentor to the pro life than have him, Nakobe, and on top of that, arguably the two greatest defensive vets in Philadelphia Eagles history, and Brandon Graham and Fletcher Cox, who are still on a 1-year deal playing the same positions that these guys play. Let those guys teach Jalen Carter and Nolan Smith and still teach Jordan Davis and Nakobe Dean how to be a professional every day. And Nakobe Dean and Jordan Davis are going into year 2 now after learning under them all of last year. Like, dude, the sky's the limit for this team, bro. And then you add DeAndre Swift, another dog. But you add DeAndre Swift to that. Oh, I mean, and I like Rashad Penny, yo. I really do. But we all know
injury prone. He's injury prone. So, I mean, sometimes you got to deal with. I thought we were going to have to deal with the blows, maybe sign Zeke or something like that. Nah. Howie says, let's prey on the weak. Sorry, Nick and the Lions. But to me, you had so many needs to fill on both sides of the ball, and you decided to fill the one spot that you didn't need, and then you had to trade that guy. I get that you don't want to pay Swift. Nobody wants to pay a running back, and I don't think the Eagles are going to pay him after this year. I really don't. I think this is a one and done for Swift, and he'll go sign somewhere else because they don't value that position. But, oh, my goodness, is he going to be good for that 1 year? Like, oh, man, you thought the 2022 Birds were good, George? I mean, Howie hit a home run in the draft, and I realistically, the only position I feel as if isn't at an elite level is safety. And there's a couple names floating around still in the safety market that I wouldn't be shocked at this point if Howie decided
Don't say that. Don't say that. Don't say that out loud. Don't say that.
I'm just saying. I know
what you're thinking.
I know a guy that rhymes with Kuda Caker, and he's
I know.
He's probably pissed, bro. I'll be
he doesn't
pissed.
like,
bro.
God, man. But I heard he wants to go to the boys. I heard he wants to go to the boys.
You heard that? Yeah, you heard that, Nick? Everybody want to go to the boys. Michael Parsons don't even want to be a boy. You saw him throughout the draft.
You want to be in Philly so bad. You want to be in. Oh boy. Okay, but to be fair, Jalen Carter should not be a Philadelphia Eagle. He should not.
He shouldn't.
He should not.
But he
should not.
Welcome to the show. Like I said, this puts it all into perspective to me on how good Howie did in the draft. If he didn't get Jalen Carter and Bijan wasn't there, I wanted Nolan Smith at 10. I'll put that's the perspective I'll put it in. And he got that motherfucker at 30. 30? Like, he's got a torn pec, I get it, but 30? Like, what did he do that bad for him to drop that far?
You got Nakobe Dean in the 3rd round last year, man. It was the same thing because of a torn
that was crazy in itself. And the best part about Nakobe Dean, though, is like that. To me, that motherfucker's still a rookie. He barely played last year, bro.
He didn't play too much at all.
And when he was on the field, he was a menace. So,
I don't know what do you do? Like, you're lining up against Philly. What do you do? Like, you see Hassan on this side, you Smith over here.
We're in the trenches, dog. We're in the trenches, winning by 4. That's the hell.
You see Davis come in for Cox, and then you got Graham. You like what? and then you look at their secondary, and it's Slay. It's Bradbury.
No,
it's Ringo. What?
I was telling my boy this yesterday or 2 days ago. I was like, Slay and Bradbury are gonna be all pro like by default. Like, motherfuckers are gonna have 2 seconds ball, bro. They're just gonna be like, yeah, I'll cover the quick slant. Like, all right, like they do that shit in their sleep. Like if nobody has any time to throw the ball against these guys, like the only time throughout the entire year last year, and I think they have a better defensive line this year than they did last year. Obviously losing Hargraves,
Yep.
but besides that, they didn't really lose anybody on the edge.
Replaced him with Carter, bro.
Yeah, and they didn't. Yeah, exactly, and they didn't really lose anybody on the edge. So you throw them like in the mix. The only time they didn't get pressure last year was in the Super Bowl when they were playing on the slip and slide. So I don't see anybody stopping this team, bro. Especially, and again, you look at the quarterback position, bro. Like we talked about this last week, George. Outside of Jalen Hurts and Dak and Derek Carr, who the NFC is like the weakest.
I'll throw in Purdy.
Years. It is the weakest it's been in. Bryce Young is automatically a top 5 quarterback in the NFC. Think about that. Like, that doesn't happen, bro. And CJ Stroud is like barely scratches the surface of 15 out of 16 teams. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
I pray for quarterbacks going out against the Eagles.
Yeah,
like honestly.
Long story short, I'm
the Lions gave you this draft for real. I'm gonna just straight up say it.
I'm intrigued to see what other things come from other teams in the NFC, but barring injury, I feel as if I know where my team is going to end up at the end of the year.
I think I know where your team's going to end up at the end of the year.
Facing us.
Yeah, and
where?
In
the NFC?
In the playoffs. In the playoffs, baby.
Yo, and that's another thing too.
You ready to lose?
Yo, Nick, think about this. Right? Think about this. Boys,
ready to lose, George?
The boys can be 11.
you better sit Dak.
The boys can be 11-5 and have the second best record in the NFC, and they're still gonna have to take a trip to like New Orleans or
hit the 5th seed.
Whoever fucking wins the North. I don't even know who's gonna win the North. That's just gonna be a clusterfuck.
Probably Vikings. Probably the Vikings.
Dude, I still like the Lions. I still like the way the Lions look.
Lions are it's Vikings or Lions, but Lions piss me off.
Go ahead. I wanna hear.
I don't know. There was a lot of players that signed with the Chicago Bears too, man. The Bears they're not looking bad.
Bears, bro. They got Tremaine Edmonds, which scares me.
The thing about the Bears though is I don't believe in Justin Fields, so
I don't either.
See how he comes out throwing this year. With his legs, he's great, obviously.
Dominant.
But let's see how he can throw. Let's see if he improves.
He's inaccurate as shit. He's always been ever since at Ohio State. He's got 5 stars. He had 5 stars constantly around.
I mean, Ohio State quarterbacks. I mean, to me, they're kind of mid because you got dog as receivers. Receivers are freaking amazing, but
I don't know.
The quarterbacks,
I think be different though.
These quarterbacks are throwing to fucking all-pro receivers. If you're throwing to all pro receivers, so it's like they help you out.
You got 2 5 stars. Your top 2 receivers just went down. Oh, don't worry. The 2 that are freshmen that are 5 stars in 2 years. Like it's like it's like, oh, Garrett Wilson went down. Don't worry, Marvin Harrison Jr. is ready. Oh, okay.
Yeah, he was the 4th string. He was the 4th string 2 years ago.
I'll do that.
Marvin Harrison.
Fine by me.
That's crazy.
Look at all these schools, bro. It's like
crazy.
You obviously have some outliers, like when Burrow was at LSU, Jamar was there, and they had players, but I don't know, dude.
That team was filthy.
Getting into the Stroud pick, he's like Ohio State quarterbacks, bro. You always kind of know what you're getting from them, bro. Like when was the last time you heard of an Ohio State quarterback that was elite?
No, and it's tough that the Texans don't have receivers like that either. Brandon Cooks is already out of there.
What do they got? Will Fuller? Or is he gone too? He's gone.
No, he's gone.
Yeah, Will Fuller's gone too.
I
thought he was with the Fins.
Yeah, he was.
Mechie should be coming back. Mechie should be coming back.
No, but even then, man.
I mean, yeah, no,
they're not gonna have no one to throw to. They're gonna have to fucking run Damian Pierce through the ground.
I thought it was a bit interesting that Houston traded up to get Will Anderson too, because I just like great player.
That was different.
But
they just need more.
Yeah,
players,
dude, they gave up a lot of capital.
They can't.
I feel like you have so many holes. It's like, why would you give up a first next year when you know most likely you're probably gonna stink again? Like,
they traded for him like they're contenders. That's
exactly.
What they did.
Oh, exactly.
It was just odd. It was very
they were one guy away.
Yeah, and it's like
I don't think it was that great of a move. And And
I mean, Will
if
Anderson's
you
a
do
great
do
player,
that,
but
I feel like if you do that, you go for a wide receiver. Like I said, they have no receivers. You could have gone
well, they could have
Zay
did that
Flowers.
late in the first.
But
They could
they
have
could
did
have
that
stayed. They
late
could
in
have
the
stayed where they
first.
originally were and got Jackson Nickman, or
Yeah.
Yeah,
and got Zay
JSN,
Flowers. I'll tell you what, I love that the Colts decided to take Anthony Richardson instead of
Well, Levy.
Levis. Yeah, I do.
Yeah,
I think
I
Richardson's
agree.
gonna be the
I
better.
agree.
Yeah,
I think
I like
Richardson's
that
gonna be
pick.
the better project.
He
Yeah.
definitely has a higher ceiling.
I think he plays right away.
100% has a.
Oh, 100%.
Oh, yeah,
He's
yeah,
gonna play
well, I
outright.
mean,
Who the hell is gonna play?
Who else? Who else is gonna play?
You think they're gonna have Matt Ryan out there?
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Nah, he's gonna play off the bat, and
That's
it's
true.
good with,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Jonathan
I think
Taylor.
Irsay was tired of the bullshit. Yeah, Irsay was just tired of the bullshit in a way. Probably he was probably like, dude, we've signed Phillip Rivers, Carson Wentz, Matt Ryan. They all suck, bro. They're all bums.
They're all
Can't work like that.
Did
man.
you just say Carson Wentz sucks?
Bro, bummy boy, come on.
How about in 2018?
Oh, MVP, bro. Man,
Oh, boy.
Go.
Yeah.
Man was kicking. I'll tell you what,
My man's reminiscing.
that ACL was like the biggest blessing in disguise in Philadelphia Eagles history, bro. History.
Nah, it kind of was.
You let Nick, because you never know what happens. Maybe Carson comes and shits the bed in the playoffs, and then he
I
doesn't.
don't think he played. Yeah, I don't think he plays as good as Nick Foles did.
And Nick Foles
I don't
went
think so.
insane,
Against Tom Brady,
man.
Carson Wentz would have pooped his pants.
Insane. Nick Foles went insane, and then once he was back, and
Nick Foles had nothing to lose.
Dude, Carson was a shell of himself ever since that day, bro. A shell of himself. He was
Like Foles caught a pass.
because he's a baby,
I mean-
bro. Carson Wentz is a fucking baby, bro. He's a crybaby, bro. It's all about attention for him, bro. It's it. That's all he cares about, bro. It's attention.
It's true.
And
It's true. I also think his
fucked up, dude. 'cause
his
the worst part is-
confidence going outside the pocket too.
I think
His
after
confidence shot to
2018.
the floor.
Yeah, of
his-
course.
Yeah,
He got
after the
his
injury.
knee rocked.
Yeah, his confidence.
Yeah, I mean it's like kind of like the Teddy Bridgewater thing. You know what I mean? Like he was all in Minnesota,
Yeah.
and then he gets hurt in that preseason game, and kind of when he
That's
comes
it,
back,
yeah.
he's not
Yeah.
the same. It's kind of it happens, man. It happens.
It
to
does
those
happen.
dual
It's
threat.
unfortunate. It's
Yeah.
just the way it's the way of the league, and I'm just like,
Yeah,
oh my god, Howie Roseman got a first round pick out of that man. Like, think about that, bro. The next year,
he did, bro.
Colts
He did.
the Colts offloaded him for a fifth next year. Just get off my team. And Howie got a first, bro. Like,
That
what?
was different, bro.
Oh,
he got
man.
Swift for half a bag of saltine crackers.
Bro, the best part about
What
Swift,
was that?
Those crackers are fire, though.
Shut up, Jordan.
the best part about the Swift
Ain't no way you said salty crackers.
that-
are good.
that 1 year that he's here, right? The 1 year that he's here, even if he leaves, the Birds are getting a comp pick for his departure, and that comp pick from where he was drafted would be a fourth round pick.
Bro, we get it, bro. We get it.
I
They traded
know.
a fourth and a
I
se-
know.
They basically swapped seventh round
know.
picks for Swift.
I know.
Yeah,
I know.
it's crazy. It's crazy. I think he's gonna be
I
better
know.
than Miles Sanders, 100%.
Dude, and
100.
that's the
If
thing,
they,
and that's another thing
behind that
about
O
Howie,
line,
right?
he dropped 144 rushing yards on the Eagles last year,
Yeah, he did. He did.
week 1,
He did.
and we just did not give him respect. I've watched so many Lions games where he would start to get momentum going, and they
Oh.
pull him,
Oh,
dude. And then you see
Oh.
his face, and he's pissed.
oh.
I would be too. Actually, I'm pissed too.
Maybe he
watching
maybe he
this.
wanted out of there. Maybe he wanted out of there, and he was
Oh,
like,
yeah.
"Yo, you
They
know
both
what?
didn't like
draft,
each other.
yeah,
They
draft
both
somebody
didn't
in the
like each
draft,
other.
and I'm at the."
You saw Hard Knocks, right? They were like, "You can be the best. Just put in the effort." They felt like he didn't put in enough effort, and Swift is just like, "Yo,
Y'all
shut
trying
up."
me,
Like,
man. Y'all trying.
yeah, y'all
That's how he
trying
was
me.
Yeah.
Yeah, y'all trying me. Give me the ball, and then when they do give him the ball, he takes off, and then they pull him. In that Bills game that we lost, that everybody was raving about because we were in the game. We lost, but we were in the game. Swift didn't touch that ball the whole game till that last drive.
That was
They threw two
Thanksgiving, right?
screens to him and got him right there to the red zone. After two screens, they didn't throw a screen to him all game, even though I was screaming at the TV, but they don't listen to me because I don't got a mic. But they
Now you do. Now
they
you
give
do.
him the
Look at
ball
it.
twice. They give him the ball twice. They go right down the field, and then Jared Goff misses DJ Chark by a mile, and they lose.
Yeah, I remember that.
Swift is a difference maker, and there were a few games we could have won if we just used him a little bit more. I don't know. I mean, like, I get Jamal played great and everything, but they gave him the ball way too much, especially because they weren't gonna re-sign him and then sign Montgomery for more money than he signed with New Orleans.
I feel like Montgomery's the same type of back as Swift too. Like, why would you sign him? I guess
I think Swift's better
that
than
this has
Montgomery.
no facts. Me too. But I'm saying, like, I think they're the same type of back.
He's gonna.
You get what I'm saying?
Dude,
Like,
he's gonna light it up in Philly, bro.
Yeah,
He's gonna light it up. He's
From
got a chip.
Philly,
He
too.
already had a chip on his shoulder.
Best
He already
part.
had a chip on his shoulder. This thing is like up here now. He ain't he's playing
Dude,
no games.
It's the best part though, bro.
And I think he's from Philly too.
Yes, bro. He's a St. Joe's guy, bro. St. Joe's is like arguably the biggest high school in Philly, bro. Like it's like the football mecca in Philly, bro. Like you wanna if you're playing at St. Joe's, like that's where like Hassan, like all these guys from all around Philly, like even if you live around there, like St. Joe's will
He's gonna
pay
tear it
your
up.
school to play football
Tear
for
it
them,
up.
bro. And they are
And Philly
old.
knows how to use, bro.
Oh,
Philly knows how to use running backs, man. Philly
Oh.
knows how to use running backs.
I'm
I'm
telling
like,
you what.
I'm happy for him because the Lions really weren't doing him right. They weren't. When
Yeah.
he came back from injury, they weren't giving him the ball.
Yeah.
Even when he played well, he would go for a 10, 12-yard run after not getting the ball at all. And like straight off the bench, cold, get a 12-yard run, and they pull it. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
That's not how. If you're a
And-
running back, you like touching the ball like back to back. You want to get the rock.
You're
You
a
want
bell
to
cow,
feel
bro.
the field out.
Yeah,
Man. Yeah.
And he is a bell cow, though. That's the thing that I'm excited about. Is like you
He's
have
gonna kill it, bro.
I'll tell you
He was behind the second best O line. Now he's behind the first.
yeah, the Birds have 4 guys, right? Miles signed a 4-year, 6.5 per with Carolina. The Birds have 4 guys: Rashad, DeAndre, Kenny Gainwell, who's dog. Like he's I love. Oh my
They
god, I
still
love
have Gainwell, man. They still do.
Kenny
He
Gainwell,
is a dog.
Boston Scott
He is a
and
dog.
Trey Sermon. So that's 5 running backs that they're gonna have next year under contract, all making a combined less than what Miles Sanders makes in Carolina, bro.
that's crazy, man. That's crazy.
That is insane, bro. And he doesn't value the position, bro. He's like, yeah, running back, anybody can do it. Like that's always
How
been
he should be fired. How he should be fired. He's
You know what's
stupid.
crazy?
I
You know what's
think
crazy?
Roger
he
Goodell
should be
fire
taken
him.
out of the NFL, dude. He
You know what's
should never
crazy?
be
He
led
should,
back
bro.
in the NFL.
This is not fair, bro.
You know what's crazy,
Or
bro?
like
He literally
Or he has to work for every team.
he wasn't
One of
he wasn't in the
I like
league,
that.
bro.
I like that.
Bro, when the Birds hired, do you remember when the Eagles hired Chip Kelly
Oh my gosh. Yes.
in 2013? They hired Chip Kelly.
Yeah.
yeah.
Mhm.
Bro, they gave franchise, bro. They gave him the keys to the franchise, which basically, in part,
He said, "I want every Oregon player."
he put Howie in a corner. Like he was
Get,
like, Howie, you suck, bro. Like,
get
and look
McCoy
what
out of here. Get McCoy out of here.
bro, get Shady out of here. Get Djax out of here. Get Jeremy
Immediately.
Maclin. All these guys are not what we want around. Get Kiko Alonso in here. That'll really sure things up. Thank you, bro. Like
That was so funny, bro. That was so funny. He really just got every
Bro,
Oregon player he could
he got rid of the entire franchise that was there for 5 to 7
Oh my
years. And was
God.
like, yeah, let's just put these new guys around Sam Bradford and DeMarco Murray. That'll work. What?
Marco, bro. That was the biggest fall off.
Dude, that was the
Yeah,
craziest
facts.
of all
And
time.
I was so pissed that he left us. I was like, man, this guy's leaving us to go to the fucking Eagles, man.
Dude, I
God.
knew he was mid.
And
Because
I'm
at
not
that,
gonna
dude,
lie.
at that
I
point, the
knew
Eagles
it.
had no offensive line, and the Cowboys had arguably the
The
best.
Cowboys had the best. Had the
Yeah.
best. They did.
So
When
DeMarco
Zeke
just
came
ran
right
off
in after that, he tore it up. That's why.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Oh
that's
my gosh, that Cowboys
crazy.
O-line was
crazy.
crazy.
That's how Howie works, bro. Howie works in a way the same way where he's like, yeah, to be honest, I think anybody can do it behind this offensive line. As long as my offensive line is shored up. Yeah, you know what's crazy? Going back to the draft one more time. I was me and Nick were talking.
Make it quick. Motherfucker gotta get out of here.
Bro, me and Nick were talking. Me and Nick were talking before what was it? The 3rd round, I think. It was before the 3rd round. And I wanted Darnell Washington bad, another dog, but I wanted him as the second tight end because I just think he's a good blocker and everything like that. But bro, another guy I wanted was
I wanted Darnell too.
Steen, bro. I wanted Tyler Steen from Alabama with one
Yeah,
of my
yeah.
I wanted
You
him
did.
bad because he's just a surefire, constant winner, bro. He wins and he can play tackle. That's another thing that the Eagles need. They need a guy that can be lane and my line, and he can do either way. Bro, I loved the Tyler Steen pick from Alabama, bro. Like how he
They didn't miss.
bro, he fucking destroyed the draft. It was crazy.
Dude, they
Going
didn't
back
miss 2 years in a row.
Yeah, going back to
2 years in
Yeah,
a row.
bro. No, that's why I started off by saying that you guys had the best draft 2 years in a row. Because I think this year,
100%.
out of all the
I
teams, you had
wanted
the best
Jordan
draft
Davis
and
last
last
year,
year. Yeah.
So
I wanted Jordan Davis and Kobe Dean last year, and I wanted Jalen Carter and Nolan Smith this year.
It's funny because this is the first time in a while where I looked at it and was like, damn, like every guy that I like thought about even for a second, I was like, they got like that was crazy. Like that's just wild.
Didn't miss. And then got Ringo? Like
Yeah, traded
that
up.
dude there was some mock drafts with him going in the first round.
Yeah, bro. But they traded that. It's crazy that they traded that high up. Like they didn't have a pick until the 7th round. And they traded a 3rd next year for Houston's 4th. So at that point in my head, I was going like, damn, they must really like somebody that's still there because they gave up. That's a pretty good pick.
Yeah.
I liked who was there, bro. I didn't think how he was gonna do it, bro. It was like I feel like he almost did it for
He
the
don't miss, bro.
He almost did it for the memes, bro. Let's just get all the dogs in here. Let's get all the dogs.
And then traded half a bag of
Bulldogs.
saltine crackers for Swift.
Oh man.
Not even the full bag.
Oh,
It was half,
man.
maybe a quarter bag.
Well, we're excited for the next NFL season coming up, man.
Something like that.
Preseason coming up in August. It's gonna be one hell of a season, baby. Hopefully, the boys are on top of the Eagles, but it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough, man. It's gonna be tough. All right, boys. Let them know where they can listen to your stuff and where they can get your socials, man. Nick, go ahead, man.
Nick J. Wilkins TV on Instagram and Nick J. Wilk on Twitter.
Yes, sir. Logan, where you at?
Logan Peter 9 on everything, and then beginning of June, ESPN. Hop on that. ESPN Washington. Just a little radio app. That's all you need.
Yes, sir.
I'd love to see it.
Guys, you know where you
Love
can
to
follow
see
me
it.
on Twitter at GeorgeMike Perez, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube at GMikeMedia _. The audio podcast version is available on all podcast platforms under the G Perspective and on YouTube as well. My boys, thank you again for coming on. Get you on soon. Hey, hopefully, I think next week, man, because next week my 50th episode, man. So we gotta get the four horsemen in here.
Wow.
Yeah, right.
50,
50, bro.
man.
Crazy.
We gotta
Crazy.
get
Bro,
the
that's
squad.
crazy, bro. Congrats.
Yeah, bro. Appreciate
awesome.
Appreciate it.
That's
Yeah, we
awesome.
gotta get the squad in here. Keep talking a little more
For sure.
football because I know Freezy got a lot of stuff to say too.
I'm
man.
sure, bro.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Now he's a Philadelphia
I ain't even
Bulldog
gonna say
fan.
it all.
Freezy's ready to explode. I know Nick's still on.
I'm about to be a
Philadelphia.
Philadelphia. Bro,
Nah,
I'm
chill,
sick, bro.
dog,
I could
chill,
just keep.
dog,
I could just keep yelling. I could keep
Oh,
going.
dude,
But it's
just
like,
come.
we got- there's a
Just
time
come to
limit,
this
bro.
side, dude. Come
Yeah, I
to
was
this
gonna say,
side. They already got the Bulldogs
no,
over
I'm-
there.
We're turning into America's team now. What's up?
You-
Literally.
Hell
Literally.
yeah.
All right, boys. Take
Yeah,
it
I
easy,
mean-
man.
See ya.
Sir.